Hey guys, this is Ravenclaw. What if? Sorry about that. My video cut off because my phone is like, if it's inactive for a certain amount of time, it cuts off. So let's continue where we left off. It's like, you have a very powerful quirk, but it does have a toll on your body. As you know, she's still breathing heavy. Izuku, helps her up. He's like, here, let me help you up. As you know, he helps her up. As you know, All Might and the rest of the heroes and Nezu's like, interesting. Those two are actually working together. That's a very surprising, strategy. And All Might smiling. He's like, yeah, that's my successor for you. Always trying to, always trying to be helpful and smiling all the time. So, he's liking Midoriya even more because he smiles a lot. So, I don't know. Pause. Small pause. I don't know how long this part's going to be. It's probably not going to be as long as the first. I'm going to make this one part B again. I do apologize. I need to keep track of my screen more often. So, as let's continue. As that goes on, they get Midoriya's like, come on, Kasugi. He picks her up and uses his shadows to get up onto the roof of a building. Let's say he puts shadow spikes up on the wall, so he's jumping on the shadow spikes up the wall while carrying Kazuki, and she's like, and she's holding on to Midoriya because heights, And she's like, I don't like heights. And Midoriya's like, don't worry, I got you. You're not going anywhere. I'm not going to drop you. That would be very unhero-like. As he smiles. So, she's holding on to him tight. So All Might and them seeing that, it's like, interesting strategy. I wonder what he has planned. And, Nezu's like, so, he knows about All Might's new successor. So, is that the boy you chose? And All Might's like, yeah, he is. Eraserhead's there with him, so it's just, teachers. There's no other students there. So he's like, yeah, he is quite impressive so far. All Might, as Nezu says this, and he's like, I wonder what he'll do, when I release the zero pointer. As, he takes the button, he's like, I guess it's time, it's almost time to set the zero pointer. Guess I'm going to have to prime it. So he presses the button. It takes a little bit for the robot to activate. So he's like, he'll have about 15 minutes. Then the zero pointer will appear. Let's see what he does. As that happens, Izuku and Kasuki's like, all right, how about this? I'll carry you while I'll use my quirk to get up there real fast. You remote detonate all those 3-pointers. There's a whole group of them over there. None of the other students have touched them yet. This would give us definitely enough points, to get into Class 1A. And Kasuki's like, yeah, of course, that's a good idea. And she's like, how did you know about? She's like, how did you know about my remote detonation? It's like, oh, I saw you remote detonate a couple of the 2-pointers. Quite impressive. If I may speak, truthfully, I think your quirk is a whole lot better than your brother's. You have more versatile, for fighting than your brother does. He's a little too hard-headed for my taste, but, Bakugo's always been that way. So, she's like, so you know my brother for a while? Yeah, my mother tried to get, me and your brother to hang out one time. He's not I don't really care for his personality very much, but that's just on me. That's on him, He's a little high strong. And she's like, he's not talking crap about Bakugo, so she's not going to get upset. But she understands how her brother is. So it's like, yeah, no, sorry about that. My brother is a little bit, difficult to deal with sometimes. It's fine, Kazuki. Nothing to worry about. Let's get this test on the road. As Izuku, grabs, Katsuki, and he does his full cowling as he's going really fast. Now, small pause. His full cowling, the color of the lightning, it's going to be black. So it's like black lightning. So yeah, it's really cool looking. So as that happens, and oh my, it's like interesting. So the full cowling what he uses is black. That might be something to do with his shadow quirk. Interesting. As Nezu picks up on that, he's like, yeah, that is. So you said he has a shadow quirk. That is quite fascinating. I think I seen those spikes. So those what the spikes were, and almost like yes, Principal Nezu, and Principal Nezu is like regardless of how this test goes, he's definitely in UA. I see great potential in that young man. As that goes on, as All Might like leaves, he's like, yeah, he leaves, and he's like, my time limit's about done. I've seen enough of young Midoriya. He's made me proud, so he goes off and recovers from using his bulk form for so long. So as the 0 pointer shows up, as it's big, it's huge, and Katsuki's like, it's a 0 pointer. I didn't realize it was this huge. I was like, we don't have enough time. We won't get away in time. And Izuku's like, all right, I think I have an idea. If you're willing to help me. And Katsuki's like, yeah, anything, Midoriya. I mean, you've been helping me this whole time since the battle test. So what's the plan? He's like, all right, I'm gonna get in there. I'll do some damage to the head, and you place your remote detonation charges in the rest, in the wiring, and it should blow up majority of the robot. It should, as long as we hit the head, it should be unfunctional. So they get as Midoriya unleashes he uses he jumps up to the robot as he conjures a shadow sword, and Katsuki's like quite surprised by that, and she's like, as he conjure up as he's running, he's like, I didn't know they're talking as Midoriya's getting to the 0 pointer. He's like, I didn't know you had some sort of creation quirk, and Midoriya's like, no, it's nothing like that. It's I have a shadow manipulation quirk. I could manipulate my shadow or any shadow. Doesn't really have to be a shadow, but I could create things with my shadow, with shadows in general. So this was always my favorite. I do love swords. So as that happens, he gets up the 0 pointer, slashes it a couple times just to get a good enough dent into it, and his shadow sword is very strong. So it cuts that metal it cuts the metal like butter. So she's like, Kazuki, now, as she puts a lot of charges in there, like a lot, enough to blow up that robot, but she put a little too much. She's breathing heavy because she's put like a lot of them in there, and she's like, Katsuki, as he jumps off with it, Katsuki's like, do it now. As Katsuki snaps her fingers, or as the robot explodes, and it explodes like half the body, so it falls down, and he's like, the bell, the horn's like, battle session of the test is over. Thank you for participating in UA entrance exam. We hope to hear from you soon. Those who don't get accepted, there's always next time, and there's always other schools to apply to. You got young men and women, have a good day. As that goes on, and I guess we're gonna continue a little bit. Yeah, let's continue. As that happens, Katsuki, and Midoriya are talking, and Bakugo sees that. He saved Araka from the 0 pointer on his side. So Araka is there with him, and Bakugo sees Midori talking to his sister. Like, goddamn nerd. Don't like when he talks to my sister. Don't like him, and period. So, Araka's like, I don't know, like, Araka's kind of confused how, his hatred towards this young man. That seems kind of nice. Because what she's seen in Midori so far, he's very polite. That Araka has heard from, their conversations with Katsuki. She's like, thank you for helping me, Midoriya. This is Katsuki and Midoriya. It's like, it's no problem. I have no, with your help, the test was a lot easier. And he's like, yeah, I do appreciate what you said, that when we had dinner at my house, that you encouraged me. It's like, that made me want to train even harder. It's like, it's fine. I know we'll definitely get in and we'll be seeing each other more. So, as she blushes a little bit, and Bakugo's like, what you doing, nerd? He's like, what you doing, sister, as well? He's like, what you doing as a nerd? And Katsuki's like, stop it, stop it, brother. He was, we were having a nice conversation before you butt in. He's like, whatever. I highly doubt you got in anyways. And Katsuki's like, you'll be seeing me there. As, that shook Boruto. His sister's never been, talked back like that before. Midori's giving her a little bit more confidence. So, as that goes on, he's like, I don't know what you did to my sister, but I don't like it. And, and Araka's still, next to Bakugo. He's like, and Midori's like, oh, yeah, see, that's what your problem is, Bakugo. You're so hard-headed that you don't, you treat everyone like dirt. Your sister is, and for my opinion, my point of view of things, she's a lot more superior than you when it comes to quirk control. Her quirk is a whole lot more powerful. Ice and No, me and her, worked together the whole time, the whole test of the battle stage, the battle test. And he's like, what you mean, nerd? He's like, oh, you didn't know? We teamed together the whole battle test. We even took down the 0-pointer together. As Bakugo's pissed. As Raka's like, all right, boys, that's enough. And Izuku's like, oh, my apologies, miss. My apologies. I didn't mean to, this is how me and Bakugo bond. And Bakugo scoffs, like, whatever, Midoriya, you're like, nerd. And he's like, my apologies. You are, I am, let me proper introduce myself. Introductions are always important. He's like, my name is Izuku Midoriya, and you? And she's like, I'm Araka Achaka. It's very nice to meet you. It's very nice to meet you. I hope you did well on your test, and I hope to see you in UA. It's like, I must go. Mother is probably worried. She doesn't like, I don't like to keep her waiting. It's like, I'll catch you later, firecracker. As, but Midoriya leaves. As, I think we're going to stop it here. The next part, I'll go through the, what do you call it? The letter, and probably do the quirk evaluation. So, I hope you guys have a good night and day. And I'm sorry about, having to split this episode in 2 pieces. It happened again. So, I had to fiddle with my phone, see if I could keep it on longer without it shutting off. So, catch you guys later.